Alright guys, so we're going to kick things off with some coverage of Unus Imperium, the tournament where our players are nominated to a civ, and that's all they get to play all tournament. And there are no duplicate civs, so there'll be no mirror matchups or anything. Got game 2 of this best of 3, with Nahuel spawning over here on the right side as the Italians in the yellow trunks, and I believe he's actually one of the organisers and commentators of the tournament. Well, his opponent today, the original clickbait master 9000 of the AoE community. We got T90Official here as the Portuguese in the blue trunks. So will our organizer, or will the star of Age of Empires YouTubers walk away victorious in this game too here? I believe T90 was able to take the first game. Apologies for the spoiler. But that leaves us here at 1-0 in this series, with Nahuel looking to regain a bit of pride and to continue his run here in the tournament. So we're here on Arabia. It looks to be the standard version for AoE2 DE. As it is the desert tile set is actually more open, but these days it's no longer, I guess, the standard Arabia tile set. What's this grassy Arabia tile set is actually basically standard Arabia now in DE. Well, I believe there is a grassy Arabia actually specifically called it, with like green grass rather than, you know, faded green and brown grass. That's different again. Arabia would have to be the most fiddled with map by the community, as every man and his dog has a different tournament version. Except Nahuel doesn't seem to have gone that extent for this tournament. This little fun tourney organised by him and some members, I believe, of the Spanish-speaking South American community. The players just looking to try and maximise early hunt gathering, as well as get a bit of a scout on one another and the overall map layout. So Nahuel's Italians are going to have fairly cheap teching to the next stage here, as well as cheap university techs and gunpowder units, so more of the later tech tree units there. But also some really nice upgrades for foot archers and for the condottiero, as well as access to that really nice unique infantry, unique archer combo. So T90 Portuguese, so cheaper gold cost for units across the board, which is really nice. And he will generate a little bit of wood as he's gathering from those berries. See it slightly tick up in increments of 1 there. It's pretty nice. Faster tech research speeds as well, so that's also pretty cool for does it benefit your I don't think it benefits your age ups by the look of it. Yeah, so I don't think it benefits your age ups, but every other tech will benefit from that increased technology research speed. top of that, he's also got access to the Fattoria and Imperial Age, but I don't know if the population cap's 200. I don't know if it's really worth getting one. I think if the population cap is 300 plus, it's definitely worth having one or two. But it is really an ultra late game structure, and so we've got early militia opening here from the fuel. To be desperate to try and get at one of these villages here. In fact, he's found one out in the open here, and there's some scouts already for T90 to help defend. Man-at-Arms kicking in for Nahuel, so he's going to try and hope for a little bit of extra damage here. He's just forced a bit of idle time on that builder and a bit of use of palisades, but otherwise, no huge value there for him. So yeah, we've actually got the Civ with cheap attacks versus a Civ with fast attacks. I mean, cheap rage ups versus a Civ with fast attacking. I think that should help offset that a little bit. So T90 gonna look at an opportunity to raid Nahuel here. Having to try and keep his scout cav. I mean, Nahuel trying to keep his scout cav safe. And the villagers just outside of... Oh, actually, they are just attackable there. But there is some defenders in tow in the spear and the archer. He's not going to try and chop his way through here. T90 attempting another hit here. He might be able to single out... Ooh, I reckon he could probably go for the pair of archers and pick them off. But I think he's worried about that spearman. So he's not wanting to commit to it. Nahuel trying to get at the villagers here, but it's a bit of a greedy dive here. So he's going to lose a man-at-arms and a lot of health on another one. T90 might be able to clean up the scout here as well. So Nahuel, maybe there's a vision on what his opponent's still producing, but a bit of a risk because he's really put that scout at risk, only on 1 health now. The man-at-arms now getting singled out. Fight's not really going to go the way Nahuel would have hoped, I think. T90 cleaning up that early force. Nahuel just looking to mass up archers. T90 finished production momentarily. They're just getting villagers. Now he's going to add some skirmishes as well. T90 gonna avoid the army for now and try do a bit of a run by. He's got 5 scouts now, so he might be able to threaten villages on the outer edges of the town centre here. Nahuel having to garrison. T90 safe for the moment. Nahuel just sort of milling around with the army. He was going to come back, but then he's decided to actually push forward. So he's decided he's actually fairly safe at home. At the same time, it's going to take a while for this infantry to march all the way across the map. Mounted units are able to sit here and camp. Although they decide against attacking the spearmen, considering they're already all low, except for maybe one of them here. It's not really a point to one of them trying to juggle the damage between them, because then they're all going to get so low that they're just going to be useful and then useless in the next fight. So T90 backing off. If he was full health, then I think he probably would have committed to killing one and then the next spearman, but just as it is, he's probably lost a bit too much health across all of them to worry about that. So Nahuel. T90 actually getting wheelbarrow at the moment. Nahuel gonna have to try and defend against these raiding units and his army that's been patrolling out the map, keeping an eye on things, but hasn't been able to catch this flank of raiding units. Hasn't been able to catch the skirmishers all alone, because ideally, if he can engage with all of this, he should be able to take out the skirms all alone. Now, cavalry close by, but they're going to want to try and fit through the gap here. So they get through with minimal damage. So now T90's army's all clumped up once again, and I think Nahuel's going to have to be a bit careful here. Nahuel's going to add a stables of his own. He's pretty much walled in now. To be right to take Castle Age now, so he'll do so. T90 content to just push in feudal at the moment. I think T90 will probably look at getting age up in a vill or two here. Although once he realizes that Nahuel's already going for it now, I think he's just gonna get it off the next villager. Nice engagement here for T90. Although Nahuel far enough into the tower construction, he should be able to save most of the villagers now. Nahuel gonna have to fight under a fully garrisoned tower, so taking a little bit of damage here. T90 giving his opponent a bit of reprieve for the moment. Nahuel looking to push out. T90's still sitting behind him though, but not wanting to engage with the cavalry. They're so low now. So Castle Age now. And Nahuel pushing across that pretty hefty archer force, so he should be able to get crossbow and get the next tier of his ranged upgrades in Bodkin. A little bit of extra damage and range. And then again as he gets crossbow. But Nahuel wandering by this tower, not really going to be able to get him a huge amount of value, to be honest. He's going to see drop a bit of health on these guys. A couple of crossbows actually getting picked off. He's trying to shoot his way through this palisade. The cavalry not able to take an engagement. A pair of crossbows actually picking a pair of light cav off. Now, bunch of skirmishes to clean up this crossbow ball here from Nahuel, so he's going to have to try work really hard to get out of here. He does have the range upgrade, so he should be kiting him through this. Should be trying to kite this a little bit more tightly than that, because he definitely has a range advantage, but now the skirmishes closing that range gap and damage gap down by 1. So Nahuel might have overstayed here and probably needs to micro this a little bit more sharply than that, because now T90 sitting right on top of the crossbow is going to be able to clean them all up. So Nahuel going to have to rely on trying to deal some damage here with the knights, or just try and delay T90, as well as make sure he doesn't lose anything to those scouts just camping his base. Well, T90 looks to be in a good spot. At the moment he's actually down on villagers, so I think T90 must have gone for more town centre upgrades. Knights here for Nahuel, but knights as well for T90. That player's pretty well walled off for the moment. Building house being deleted there. Town centre for Nahuel going to go up. This leaves a gap for the knights to actually enter here. Well, Nahuel doesn't really have Much of an opportunity to get inside T90's base there. The Knight's actually going to jump on top of some of these villager village. Oh, nice. Oh, quick wall. A little too slow. One of the Knights getting converted though, so that's a really nice conversion for Nahuel. T90's. Oh, both Knights being converted. Very nice. And Nahuel grabbing one of the relics. Got units out on patrol. T90 can't really see shit at the moment. But a bit too far off a conversion. A third conversion attempt here by Nahuel, but he'll be able to top up the low Knight, kill another Knight of T90. So he's really worked his way back into this game after losing that big force of crossbows there that would have been very expensive, and losing some of the initial trades. Oh, this is very lucky for T90 to just be outside of vision range with that monk. He'll be able to bring him back. Or did Nahuel? He's grabbing more Knights. No, he didn't realise that his opponent's taken the relic, but hasn't actually moved the monk. Because Nahuel would have seen it disappear. Oh! What happened there? T90's disconnected. Weird. I don't think I've got the next part of the replay, which kind of sucks. Oh, well, guys, I guess that's it there. So I'm not going to spoil who went on to win the game. That's a bit shitty. I always like to have a bit of a conclusion. Man. Alright, well, we'll do another game.